Starting early. Good evening, everybody. Hello, am I visible? Hello, am I visible? Hello, hello. So, good evening to everybody. And first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Shalin Sharma for giving me this opportunity to have some interaction with my friends, my students. Today, because I have been told by Dr. Shalin Sharma that this presentation or this webinar is especially for the students. So I will speak very basics about the heart disease, what is atherosclerosis, and how Indian spices they are useful in prevention of the atherosclerosis. So first of all, I would like to say what is atherosclerosis. According to WHO, WHO definition, the atherosclerosis is a combination of changes in the intima of arteries consisting of focal accumulation of lipids, complex carbohydrates, blood and blood products, and also associated with medial changes. Friends, this atherosclerosis is an insidious and dangerous disease, a progressive chemical and structural injury to blood vessels in such critical organs as the heart, brain, and the kidney. So, friends, this atherosclerosis can occur in heart, brain, and kidney also. The hallmark feature of the atherosclerosis is the buildup of cholesterol into lesions called plaques that can reduce the flow of blood. The deposition could be of fatty substances, cholesterol, cellular waste products, calcium, and fibrin in the inner lining of the carotid arteries, causing stroke, and in coronary arteries, causing heart attack. I would like to say if this atherosclerosis occurs in carotid artery, then it causes stroke, and if it occurs in the coronary artery, it may cause heart attack. So when the delivery of the blood to heart muscle drops enough, causes angina, and in lower extremities causes intermittent claudication. The plaque may rupture, stimulating the development of thrombus. A large thrombus on the surface of ruptured plaque can cause obstruction of the lumen of the artery, causing myocardial infarction. So these are some terms which are directly related to the heart disease or the atherosclerosis like stroke, heart attack, intermittent claudication, angina, and myocardial infarction. So these are the very, very common terms. One should be familiar with these terms. So if we talk about risk factors of atherosclerosis, then the risk factors can be divided in two categories. Number one, the factors which can be controlled or modifiable, and the factors which cannot be altered or non-modifiable. So if we talk about factors which can be controlled, they include diet, hyperlipidemia, oxidative stress. We can control the diet, we can check the hyperlipidemia, we can control the oxidative stress, control the diabetes mellitus, we can control hypertension, we can control endocrine disorders. We also control physical inactivity, metabolic syndrome, smoking, obesity, depression, and immunity. So these are the factors which can be controlled by human being. But there are some factors which cannot be controlled by the human being, and they include age. We cannot change the age, we cannot change the sex, and we cannot change the family history. If we talk about the sex, means male and female. So the female have lower incidence of the atherosclerosis because there is estrogen, plenty of estrogen, and it is believed that the estrogen may play significant role in prevention of the atherosclerosis. That's why the female they have lower incidence of the atherosclerosis or heart disease. Then we talk about the mechanism of the atherosclerosis. So it's a very simple that this atherosclerosis is initiated by the oxidation of LDL in the blood. So it starts with the oxidation of low density lipoprotein protein which is present in the blood. Then oxidative modification of LDL results in the migration of certain white blood cells, monocytes, from the blood into the artery wall, and then monocytes are converted into macrophages which essentially sequester or take up the oxidized LDL to form foam cells in artery. So once the foam cells are formed, so it's very simple, because foam cells, they develop from the monocytes, and if lot of LDL cholesterol is deposited there, then the monocyte converted ultimately into the foam cells. And once the foam cells are formed, friends, it is very dangerous, very dangerous. Aggregation, then further aggregation and accumulation of foam cells leads to fatty formation, and smooth muscle cells migrate from media to the subendothelial space where they proliferate and produce connective tissue to form a fibrous plate. And fibrous plates are soon covered by a thick dome of connective tissue with embedded smooth muscle cells that usually overlay core of the lipid and necrotic debris. And growth of fibrous plate results in vascular remodeling, progressive luminal narrowing, blood flow abnormalities, and compromised oxygen supply to the target organ. So I would like to say this, the process of atherosclerosis, it's very simple. First of all, the oxidation of LDL occurs, then monocytes, they take up this LDL cholesterol and they convert it into foam cells. Foam cells ultimately aggregate, accumulate, and they form fatty streak. Then fatty streak uh, may be converted into fibrous plate, and fibrous plates are soon covered by thick dome of connective tissue with embedded smooth muscle cells and usually overlay core of lipid and necrotic debris. Ultimately, as soon as the fibrous plaques grow, then what happens? The artery lumen of the artery decreases, and it causes pressure on the artery wall, and it may causes atherosclerosis. So uh, now I would like to say something about the Indian spices. How, first of all, I think I should discuss first before what is oxidative stress and what is the relation between the oxidative stress and the atherosclerosis. So, friends, it is well known that oxidative stress, it's a very important, oxidative stress may cause development and progression of the atherosclerosis, and it can be defined as a state of disturbance in the pro-oxidant and antioxidant balance in favor of the former, leading to the potential damage. And processes associated with oxidative stress involve reactive oxygen species and radicals that can result in elevated levels of oxidatively modified or toxic molecules that finally lead to the formation of foam cells from which atherosclerotic plaque evolves. I have already told you that how the atherosclerotic plaques are evolved, and oxidative stress plays very important role in the development of the atherosclerosis. Most living species have protective system against oxidative stress, that is antioxidants synthesized within the body or taken in the diet that counteract oxidative damage by reacting with free radicals and protect lipoprotein from oxidation. And these antioxidants are enzymes, many vitamins, and minerals that provide powerful protection for the body. So my suggestion, my humble request is you to please use maximum fiber diet, maximum vitamins and minerals in your diet. If we are taking sufficient fibers, sufficient vitamins, minerals and enzymes in our diet, then there is no problem. And we can save from the atherosclerosis or heart disease. We talk about various synthetic drugs. They have been marketed or they are used by the doctors for the treatment of the patient, especially they are bile acid sequestrants, fibric acid derivatives, HMG coenzyme reductase inhibitors, especially the statin, and you are aware with the statins, nicotinic acid, SL coenzyme A, probicol, agitamide. There are so many synthetic drugs are available in the market, and now we think that treatment with antioxidants, minerals, omega-3 fatty acids, dietary proteins, and dietary fibers are also beneficial in prevention of the atherosclerosis. So, friend, let us have some background information on the spices, Indian spices. As we know that spices are esoteric food adjuncts that have been used as flavoring and coloring agents and as preservative for thousands of years. Spices have also been recognized to possess medicinal properties, and their use in traditional system of medicine has been on record for a long time. With the advancement in the technology of spices and a knowledge of the chemistry and pharmacology of their active principles, their health benefits effects were investigated more thoroughly in the recent decades. Many health benefits attributes of these common food adjuncts have been recognized in the past few decades by pioneering experimental research involving both animal studies and human trials. These studies documented digestive stimulant action, hypolipidemic effect, anti-diabetic influence, anti-lithogenic property, antioxidant potential, anti-inflammatory property, anti-mutagenic, and anti-carcinogenic potential of spices. Among these, the hypocholestemic and antioxidant properties of a few species specific spices have far-reaching nutraceutical values. And now we will take some examples. We are working with different Indian spices since last many years, and we conducted experiments on rabbits, on rats, dogs, and earlier even in monkey also. So this, for example, this Allium sativum. Everybody knows its a common name is garlic, and this garlic is an herb that has a lot of medicinal usage, and the it has protective effect uh, on the atherosclerosis. And there is one compound, allicin. Allicin is responsible for its anti-atherosclerotic activity, and it is believed that this compound has an inhibitory effect upon the key enzymes involved in the cholesterol biosynthesis, such as HMG coenzyme reductase. Then cinnamomum verum, cinnamon, you know the local name, or commonly it is called as dalchini, and cinnamon oil had positive effect on the antioxidant metabolism, besides increase the antioxidant enzymes activity and decrease the serum MD levels. And this cinnamon has three active constituents, and these three active constituents are hydroxycinnamaldehyde and hydroxycinnamic acid, and the third one is cinnamate. And it is believed that cinnamate suppresses lipid peroxidation via the enhancement of hepatic antioxidant enzyme activity. And the third one, very commonly known as Commiphora mucul, local name is gugulu, and gugulu is an ancient Indian herb that has been shown to lower cholesterol. We worked with Allium sativum, Cinnamon verum, Commiphora mucul, gugulu, and many other spices. And we found that there are two gugulosterones, like Z-gugulosterone and E-gugulosterone. These are the active constituent of the Commiphora mucul, and they also contain other antioxidants because it is more effective in preventing LDL oxidation than gugulosterone. Then a very important Indian spice, that is coriander, locally known as coriandrum sativum or dhania. This coriander sativum is very commonly used spice in Indian cuisines. Coriander sativum is well known for its antioxidant properties, and some of its active constituents have been identified. And this coriander contains two phenolic compounds, caffeic and chlorogenic acids. And besides these, it also contains some flavonoids like quercetin, camphorol, remitinin, and apigenin. And most of these compounds are known to inhibit free radicals generated in the cellular system when they are obtained through the diet. Then curcuma longa, commonly known as turmeric or haldi. It is well known that turmeric was used by ancient practitioners in India as a stomachic tonic, and carminative. And most active component of turmeric is curcumin. And this curcumin, the antioxidant properties of curcuma longa are due to curcumin and its two derivatives. They are called as dimethoxycurcumin and bis dimethoxycurcumin. So these curcumin, these three active constituents, they are responsible for its antioxidant activity. Then a very common Indian spice is myristica fragrans, which is called as nutmeg or jaifal in Hindi. And myristica seed extract feeding prevented the accumulation of cholesterol, phospholipid, and triglyceride in liver, heart, and aorta, and dissolved atheromatous plaque of the aorta. It also decreased lipid cholesterol, serum lipid, triglyceride, phospholipid, free fatty acid, LDL cholesterol, VLDL cholesterol, and also increases HDL cholesterol. Friends, there are two types of the cholesterol in our body. One is HDL cholesterol, which is called as good cholesterol, and another is LDL cholesterol, and this LDL cholesterol is known as bad cholesterol because this atherosclerosis or the development of atherosclerosis involve the oxidation of LDL cholesterol, and HDL cholesterol has preventive role against the atherosclerosis. So if we talk about the active constituent of this nutmeg or myristica or jaifal, the active constituents are eugenol, isoeugenol, and methoxy eugenol. These are the various compounds. Ammonium cardamom, which is commonly known as badi ilaichi. This ammonium is one of the world very ancient spices and has also been universally used for its health benefits. Our laboratory findings show that ammonium to have the unique ability to lower serum low density cholesterol with lowering of serum triglyceride and antioxidant effects without causing any side effect. Previous studies claimed that phenolic compounds could able to reduce the hyperlipidemia, and the seeds of amoxicillin contains glycosides, petonidine 3,5 diglucosides, leucocyamidin 3-O beta D glucopyrinoside, subulin, and 1,8 cineole alpha terphenyl acetate. So these are the active constituents of the ammonium. I'll so because we are running behind the time and just 5 minutes are left, so I will just summarize my work. I'll give some results about the ammonium. We use, for example, we work with all the Indian spices, but here I will show some results about the ammonium. We prepare a crude extract of the ammonium, and the experimental animal was rabbit, and the rabbits were divided into different groups. One group received served as control, and the another group received cholesterol feeding for 60 days at 120 days. Then the extract of 150, 200, 100 milligram, 150 milligram, and 200 milligram per kilo body weight, the ammonium extra was given, and various parameters like serum total cholesterol, triglyceride, phospholipid, HDL cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, VLDL cholesterol, HDL ratio, atherogenic index, and different parameters in the tissue cholesterol, especially the cholesterol in liver, heart, aorta, kidney, coronary artery. We estimated various enzymes. We estimated enzymes include lipid peroxidase, catalase, glutathione, various antioxidant parameters we have taken. Even we performed the planimetry study of different layers of the aorta. Also, we use three aorta, this abdominal aorta, ascending aorta, and thoracic aorta. So a lot of work has been done on this, and we found that at all the dose level of amoxicillin, it lowers the serum cholesterol, triglyceride, because this cholesterol feeding causes increase in the serum cholesterol, triglyceride, LDL cholesterol, VLDL cholesterol, and lowers the HDL cholesterol. While the treatment with this amoxicillin increases HDL, increases this HDL cholesterol, and decreases VLDL cholesterol, triglyceride, total cholesterol, and all the lipid profiles. We found that feeding of cholesterol causes atheromatous plaque in the aorta, all the three aorta, and these plaques were inhibited by the use of amobumsulatum at various dose levels. Even there were some lesions in kidney were also observed after cholesterol feeding, and these lesions were corrected by using amobumsulatum extract. Even in the liver, also vacuolization of the cells occurs after cholesterol feeding, and that was cured by use of the amobumsulatum. So these are some findings I discussed with you, and finally, I would like to say that our study with different Indian spices suggest that they have hypolipidemic activity, and they might be partially due to enhanced fecal loss of cholesterol and phospholipid, and regression in atheroma suggested its their anti-atherosclerotic nature. And first, yes, I would like to mention one thing. No side effects were seen after treatment with the Indian spices, in especially in the rabbits, and reduction in the lipid peroxidase measure HTB-ARS activity indicated their anti-lipid peroxidative activities. They also had remarkable protective action on free radical mediated oxidative stress and restored the GSH and catalase level, thereby accelerating the repair mechanism and significant protective effect. And the protective effect of these crude extract may be due to their antioxidant enzyme, which provide defense against the determined detrimental action of the oxidized LDL. And finally, I would like to say that from our findings, we can conclude that discriminate and proper use of these Indian spices is safe and may have clinical and public health relevance. However, further research is intended to fully understand the regulation and identify specific compounds from various Indian spices and their products that are responsible for most of the biological effects, so as to develop a safe and cost-effective anti-atherosclerotic agent of plant origin. So my humble request to the students and to the audience, please use. Why the Indian people, they have still lower incidence of these atherosclerosis and other diseases, because they use lot of fiber diet, lot of vegetables, lot of spices in their food, and they, of course, they all have anti-atherosclerotic or antioxidant activity. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. सेव करना चाहते हो?